Hey everybody, this is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is a special message from the unicorn spirits. And right here I have the unicorn wishing portal and I have a candle lit for that. So the unicorn wishing portal is open, and our special message today, as I was channeling all the piles and thinking about all the piles, I was thinking about that deep forest energy of the unicorn, how the unicorns are shapeshifters, how we can, to be closer to unicorn energy, we can see the magic and innocence in things. And also unicorns basically are associated with magic, health, purity, hope, and joy. And it is said that the horn of a unicorn represents like the male potency, and then the rest is like the moon or the emotions, right? So the unicorn bringing together both emotions and logic. Unicorns have the ability to move between realms. They help us stretch our imaginations. And there is some mythological lore out there that says unicorns are actually the sons and daughters of dragons. Okay, so cool. And I love the unicorn spirits because they're so playful. They were, you know, when I think of unicorns, I also think of rainbows and like what gentle creatures they are and how they don't want to harm anything. But, you know, at the same time, they have that real sense of potency and deep forest magic, even being associated with the fairies. Of course, the fairies are a little bit more troublemaker energy than the unicorns, but let's go ahead and get your message from the unicorn spirits, okay? And there are 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1, which represents the copper pyramid. We have pile number 2, which is the rainbow aura quartz. And we have pile number 3, which is the fluorite. And this fluorite has like green and purple, pinks, clear crystal in it. It's it's fluorite. It's very wonderful for mental focus. The rainbow aura quartz is great for, you know, integrating all 7 chakras, all 7 energy centers. Of course, the unicorns do remind me of, you know, rainbow energy as well. That's why the top card in each one of these piles actually has like a little rainbow swirl on it there. And for the copper pyramid, this represents Venus energy. Also, this is just very grounding and solidifying. And of course, I love pyramids as well. So it's super cool. And when I found this copper pyramid at a crystal shop, I was like, oh yeah, I totally have to get this because copper is also very healing, of course, just like the unicorns. All right, so let's go ahead and get into your reading today. For those of you that haven't checked out my other channel, Natalie H or Power Moon Tarot, there's a link to my other sister channel in the link below. If you're coming from my other channel, welcome here. Thank you for being here. And I hope you like this channel too. This is more focused on messages for you instead of messages with you and another person, etc. And on this channel, we're a little more self-discovery, creative. I mean, my other channel is very creative too, but this channel is just in a little different vein. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see here. Let's do it. So pile number 1, you chose the copper pyramid. Welcome to your reading. We are asking for a special message from the unicorn spirits for you. And I did talk a little bit about unicorn energy in my intro, about magic and innocent, purity, hope, and joy, potency and emotions mixing together, yin and yang, unicorns being able to move between the realms and stretch our imaginations. Okay, pile number 1. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I definitely feel like you're going to get a healing message, some type of a healing message today for my pile number 1s. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me. Unicorns as well, please connect me to the unicorn spirits which would like to give my pile number 1s a message, okay? I'm getting the B names or names like Becky or Rebecca. Let's go ahead. I'm also getting macaroni and cheese or noodles or macaroni or some type of a noodle. So maybe you've had that recently, but interesting. Okay. Or something about comfort or comfort food. When I think of mac and cheese, I think of like comfort food, like mac and cheese with biscuits and butter. It's a carb fest, but it sure is good, right? Pile number one. So let's go ahead and get into your reading for my beautiful pile number ones. And let's see what special message is coming from the unicorn spirits. We have let it go. Yeah, and I mentioned you guys comfort, healing, like comfort food, and also a message of healing for you guys. So this is right on the money as far as that goes. Something about, you know, releasing some stuff that has been heavy on your heart. I feel like pile number one. And we see the birds here. To me, these birds are also kind of like the unicorn energy in the way, like telling us to be playful, telling us to let it go, telling us to remove any shackles from our heart and just go ahead. Now is the time to let it go, all right? Because there's magic waiting for you here. And I love the rose petals in the background too, because when I think of rose or rose petals, you often think of a heart, or how a rose petal like opens up, and it's like that heart opening up, right? So the unicorns are telling you now's the time to go ahead and let it go in the spirit of healing. And I love this card too. I chose this card here because of the back of it. It looks like a deep forest, you know, when we think about the unicorns. Death and rebirth, darkness to light. So it's at the opening of the cave. It's the moment of birth. It's that moment of rebirth. I am seeing a music note over someone's head here too. So somebody could be involved in music, or music is very healing. I'm also seeing the number 7 and the letter N here. Okay. But yeah, it's time to, with death and rebirth, it's time to finally let something go and to make way for new energy into your life. It's almost like, you know, parting the Red Sea. It's like saying, now we can go through this. Now we can move through this. We can finally move through this, and we can finally move to our next phase of life. Okay, so the unicorns are telling you gently, 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 let it go and bring on some new rebirthing energy here. Death and rebirth reminds me of like the Scorpionic card as well too, talking about how like our roots can get really ingrained in certain beliefs and certain things, and at times we need to kind of pull those roots up and go in a different direction, which I feel for you, pile number one. We have grace, blessing, come to me, come to set me free. Oh, I love that. We have card 19 and card 20, also card 24, but grace, you know, and looking, the unicorns talking about, you know, death and rebirth as a way to kind of help set you free, and, you know, and letting go with grace, being gentle with this death and rebirth that you're going through right now. And that the unicorns are here, the unicorn spirits are here to help you see the grace in letting go. Okay, pile number one. We have the moon card. In the intro, I was talking about how the unicorns are associated with the moon and emotions. And so, you know, hidden emotions that have been hard to release, have been maybe confusing at times for you, pile number one. And just sometimes feeling like there's no end to it. With the moon card, it's like we never really get to the bottom of it, you know? And there may be kind of an obsession with wanting to get to the bottom of something. Also, I feel like if you've been in pain, pile number one, if you've been in physical pain or emotional pain, the unicorns are here to help you release you from that, okay? We have the Ace of Pentacles. A new journey begins, right? Death and rebirth. A new journey begins. It's a new day. That's what the unicorns are saying. You know, after the night breaks, it gives way to the next morning, and it's a new day for you, pile number one. We have Judgment here. So, you know, there's been a wake-up call. You know, anytime we go through that birthing canal experience, anytime we go through that energy, it's like, whoa, you know, it's like, wake up call. And the trumpet here also kind of reminds me of a unicorn horn, which a unicorn horn, you know, if somebody like, you know, took their head and kind of like jutted it at you, pile number one, like wake up. I feel like it's kind of like the unicorns nudging you a little bit, pile number one, like wake up, and you're moving on to a new leg of a journey, so don't despair. Pile number one is what I feel like the unicorns are saying. You're in mid-transformation and you're moving on to a new part of the journey, so don't despair, okay? And we have the Lovers. Oh yeah. So everything coming together, you know, and there may have been some, you know, past relationships that even if you've moved on and you're open to new things, whether that's friendships, family relationships, romantic relationships, old cycles that are still pulling on your heartstrings, I feel like pile number one, the unicorns are here to say, we're here to let you finally step through that birth portal, move through this experience with grace, even though it's been challenging, because better things await you, okay? And we have Two of Swords, so be at peace, rest and be at peace. The best is yet to come, is what I feel like. And grace to me also with the Lovers and the Two of Swords, like so much grace in seeing, you know, seeing your relationship between your inner masculine and your inner feminine in a new way, and really balancing those energies out, and, you know, letting go of some of the things that have those strings that it feels like they've just been hanging on to your heart, pile number one, okay? Letting go of that energy once and for all, and getting ready to embrace something new that feels a lot more peaceful and a lot more balanced here in your life. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. So emerging from your cocoon, ready to move on, is also what I feel here for you, pile number one. Emerging from this moon energy, which kind of kept us in a cocoon, seeing the light of new day, waking up to a promise of a new day, all right? And in finding peace and moving on, all right? So maybe there's some grief about some endings and some emotions that you've been processing right now, and you've been in deep, you know, meditation and contemplation over. And for some of you, you could be thinking about, you know, decisions that you've made in the past, right? And maybe like, if I could have do that again, I would have made a different decision, or if I knew what was going to happen as a result of that, I might have done things a little bit differently, right? But with the Knight of Cups, I feel you're moving on. You're saying, you know what? It's time to let it go. It's time to move on, is what I'm getting here, is an energy of moving on. There's a very much a scorpionic feel to this. It's like making up your mind and deciding, I'm going to move on from this pain. I'm not going to let it hold me back anymore. And this Grace card kind of reminds me of the Three of Cups, where you've got the three women and they're like celebrating one another and they're like cheersing to one another, just talking about, you know, after, you know, it's always darkest, no, it's always darkest after the dawn. That's the wrong way. I'm saying, yeah, that song by Florence and the Machine called Shake It Off is coming to mind. For those of you that like Florence and the Machine, there's a song that's like, shake it off, and it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Yeah, shake it off. So I feel like, you know, you went through a dark period, maybe pile number one, where you weren't quite sure of, you know, and the Judgment card to me too is also like, you know, it can be like a dark night of the soul card too. But it's also about going really, really deep into your subconscious material, going back to bring up and release and liberate any old feelings from the past, so that you can move on with a lot of grace and clarity, and be set free, so your heart can be set free. I also feel like some of you may be letting go of a past relationship, whether that's a friendship, family member, romantic relationship. And I do think you're going to be at a point where you're ready to move on. So if you've been stuck on something for a while and you feel like you just start to gain momentum, but then you're brought back into that pain, or you keep reliving that pain, and all you want to do is move on, I do feel like you're moving on. Okay, pile number one, I feel like you are definitely going to move on. And those stagnant waters, or those things that you've been holding inside, you're going to be able to express yourself more fully. And for some of you, that may come in the way of creativity as well, and sharing your gifts with others. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. We have, ooh, it's the moon on top of the moon. So confronting the shadow, right? With the moon, confronting the shadow, confronting the boogeyman, confronting the one thing that maybe we've been avoiding or we haven't wanted to look at. Okay. It's the unicorns are helping you to confront this so that you can move on in grace, and that you can move forward with your life forever changed, but tapped into your heart space and ready to move forward. Okay, we have off balance. Your intuition is a bit off. Get it back in balance. Okay, and this Two of Swords is like a mini High Priestess card. All the twos are going to relate back to the High Priestess in the tarot. And the Lovers here tell me there could be things that you are overthinking, or things that you're overdoing when it comes to processing what happened or the past. And I understand why you may have felt that you really needed to go deep into this, pile number one. But, there's something, I do think here with this Two of Swords, this healing, that the unicorns are going to help you get your intuition back on track. They're going to help you get yourself back to yourself and back in balance. So ask for their help. They're going to help you regain your footing, is also what I feel here. They're going to help you regain your strength and your footing, and help you with the indecision or overthinking things, and help you so you can just move on with purity, right? Because the unicorns are all about that purity and stretching our imaginations as well too. And with the moon card, things can get, very muddy, like muddy waters, and it can make our intuition off balance, or make us feel like we don't want to use our intuition because we're too tired, or we're too, we're going through something really, really deep. And it's important to honor that. But I also feel like the unicorns are here to help, put a cleansing water over you to wash away some of that confusion or those muddy waters. Okay. And we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So there's something very important here about, what you're putting your energy into every day, and what kind of space you're holding for yourself, right? Because the Lovers, we always think of it as a partnership card a lot of the times in tarot, but it's also the angel at the top of the card is holding her hands open and is saying, I'm holding this space for you. All right. And so there's a need to wake up and hold space for ourselves so that we can, with peace and dignity and strength, move on, right? And so the unicorns are here to help you be more disciplined, to find more grace and discipline as well, which we could all use. Yeah. Ooh, I love this photo too. Look at her. And I get from her picture here, she's like, what do I do? Her hands are kind of up in the air, like, what can I do? And I feel like the star card is right above your guys' head too. For those of you with a special relationship to the star card in the tarot, the stars are with you here too. And it says, trust your inner sense. Sometimes it can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Yeah, the intuition confronting that in us, right? And stories, projections, or fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence. The unicorns help with that. To our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more important. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. Yeah, holding that space for yourself so you can move on. It's not just about, you know, we get this whole thing where we don't want to lie to ourselves, right? With the moon card, like, am I lying to myself on something, right? But it's saying here on it, you know, it's also about not withholding from yourself and having deep transparency within yourself. Learn to trust and be absolutely honest with yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers. Notice the first thoughts you have before you second guess yourself. Listen and honor these, okay? And this is coming out under the Lovers, which is a communication card. It's a Gemini card. And also the Two of Swords is very much in an active listening with their own intuition. And intuition, that voice of intuition is so quiet. It's very faint. Sometimes it's not loud and blasting in your face. It's that faint whisper, okay? And so the unicorns are saying, you know, if you threw your hands up and you're like, I'm not sure, and you're trying to make a decision or look at something with a fresh perspective, the unicorns are saying, trust your inner sense, okay? Trust your inner sense. And we have a year from now. Okay, so, you know, if there's something that you're working on right now, if there's something that you'd like, I feel maybe some of you too here with the Lovers card and this grace and seeing them as like the Three of Cups and these three women together. I feel like some of you may like an opportunity to collaborate or work with others. And I'm seeing it here on this card, right? And you can see these four and they're both focused, almost like they're in a coven. And you can see they're holding their hands out to the world as if they're going to heal the world. And then there's these two angels up in the top of the card here who are like blessing, you know, reminding me of the Lovers card, actually, with one holding her arms open here. Maybe some of you would like to have like a new friend in your life, or a romantic partner, or you'd like the opportunity to collaborate with someone on some work that you've been doing. All right. And Spirit is saying, you know, you're laying the foundation for that right now. And by letting go of the past, by birthing the new and moving on gracefully here, restoring your inner sense and getting your intuition back on track, all of these things that are happening for you right now, pile number one, are going to have great, you know, impact on the world, maybe even a year from now, okay? Like, and others are going to join you and help you on this, all right? You're not alone in what you want, is also what I feel like the unicorns are saying, right? You've needed this time to step back and to, you know, go through this death and rebirth portal that you've been going through here, through this deep transformation. I'm also seeing the number 87, or the number 8 or 7 for those of you that have 8 or 7 life paths, or the number 87 resonates with you. Maybe it's in your phone number or your street address. I'm also seeing 84 here too, okay? And 34. So, you know, yeah, a year from now, Spirit is saying, you know, there's going to be more help and there's going to be more people around you who are also focused on the same goals that you are, okay? And Spirit, and I see like Spirit is clapping for you, okay? The unicorns are helping you to purge these old emotions, to align you to a new destiny, which is really going to take form. And it may take form in the place of a person, all right, with this Knight of Cups, or a Scorpio, all right, because the Knight of Cups, it could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but also the Knight of Cups represents the Scorpio in the tarot. So yeah, pile number one, interesting. And we have Archangel Metatron, trust the universe knows. Oh my God, you guys got trust twice here. And with Judgment and death and rebirth at the center of your reading and letting go, you can definitely say that this type of deep grieving or mourning or moving on to this next stage, confronting your deeper feelings, maybe a sense that you feel off balance emotionally, that you're trying to bring about this new beginning, but it feels like you're still in the process of waking up or transcendence here, pile number one. There's an awesome message here about trusting, okay? Trusting your inner sense and also trusting the universe. Archangel Metatron making an appearance in your reading, as well as the unicorn, all right? And trust is really trust and release with grace as much as you can is basically the message that I think the unicorns are wanting to get to you here, pile number one. Okay, so I do see this is like a wave. This looks like a wave to me too, and it's like the unicorns are helping to bring this wave, you know, through your heart space, so that there's a death and rebirth, so that you can have, your spirits will be uplifted, and you'll be able to work with others, I think too, and partner up with others is what I'm also feeling, pile number one. Okay, so I hope that message was, I hope you found that message eye-opening or healing for you there too, pile number one. So thank you so much. I hope you join me again for another reading, and leave me a comment if you feel inspired to do so. Thank you so much, pile number one. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to pile number two. Ooh, spilled a little water there. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rainbow Aura Quartz, and today the Unicorn Wishing Portal is open, and we are going to get a special message from the Unicorn Spirits for you. And as I mentioned in my reading, a little bit in the beginning of the reading, in the intro, a little bit about the unicorn animal totem or unicorn spirit, and we're going to be looking at magic, health, purity, hope and joy, magic and innocence, looking at our potency, a balance of emotions and logic, moving between the realms, stretching imagination, okay? And you chose the wonderful Rainbow Aura Quartz, which, of course, rainbow always reminds me of the unicorns. And this one, the Rainbow Aura Quartz, is really sparkling today. And it's like, yeah, the unicorn sparkle in my pile number twos, okay? The unicorn glitter, the unicorn sparkles, and the wishing portal is open for you, pile number two. So let's tap into the energy. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful energy of my pile number twos and the unicorn spirits who have a message for them. Okay, so as I was saying that, pile number two, Spirit was giving me charcoal. I don't know if some of you have been using charcoal. Maybe you use it to grill. A lot of people have gas grills these days, but you know, also charcoal can be used like in toothpaste to help whiten the teeth, or there's other medicinal, I think, value for charcoal too, right? That people use it in different ways. Also, it kind of reminds me of like sage in a way, maybe like clearing energy. All right, so also when I think of it, I think of like smoke. So also like smoke and clearing the air. So maybe we're gonna be looking at something here for you, pile number two, that has to do with the unicorns helping to clear the air around something for you. All right, let's see. Unicorns are also showing me the sun and the sun's rays, and they're talking about the sun's rays as being like brilliant, and they're also saying versatile, like you can use them for different things, which is so funny. And I also feel like they're showing me the color blue and purple. So maybe you have something blue and purple, or you have shoes that have blue or purple, or tennis shoes on that have blue or purple in them, or some piece of jewelry that has blue or purple. But yeah, thank you, unicorns. Thank you so much. The sun's rays and its versatility. So interesting. Okay, pile number two. Let's get some messages from the unicorn spirits for you. A deep breath. A deep cleansing breath, pile number two. Also, this is card number 7, which is a very mystical number. But the unicorn's coming through here to talk to you about taking a deep breath. And, you know, maybe if there is smoke-filled air, for those of you that are on the West Coast, I know there's a lot of fires right now too. If you've been affected by fires, just sending my love out to you guys. You know, and I think this is talking about taking a deep breath as a way to energize yourself too, because when we don't breathe deep enough, it's like this flower here, we stay like very closed up. We get very closed in our lungs, right? And there's something about a deep, expansive breath, and something about clearing the air too. I was talking about the air, right? And the breath, of course, is the air. So the unicorns are saying, take a deep breath. I feel like they're saying, take a deep breath, sweetheart. I feel like that's their message to you. That's cute. Take a deep breath, sweetheart. Okay, we have the divine feminine, magnetic receptive power, and another 7. So we have 7 for those of you that are into the number 7. 7 is a very mystical number. It can also be kind of a challenging number too. Like Aleister Crowley always had some interesting things to say about the number 7 after leaving like the perfect balances of the 6. You know, it's like wanting to go back to the 6, but we have to keep moving forward. But at the same time, it's also a very mystical number. Represents the 7 days of the week, the 7 planets, you know, all the beautiful things that the 7 represents. 777 as well too, a very lucky moment. All right, and we see the divine feminine here in a very magnetic and receptive state, and she happens to be channeling quite a bit of power. And I do think this has to do right now with the amount of energy that you're expending, pile number 2. Maybe you're expending a lot of energy these days in your life to keep things going, to keep things moving. And, you know, and the truth is that there are a lot of situations in your life that need your input and your energy and your light, okay? And your intelligence, I also feel here, okay? Pile number 2, let's see what else we have. Fertility, 37. It's another 7, 777. Fertility with a 3, which reminds me of the Empress, and of course the divine feminine and the Empress. But fertility, let it all take root, seed, and sprout. Let new life be all about. Okay, so you're really doing a lot here right now I feel a lot of you may be putting a lot of energy into new projects, new ventures, into growing something new in your life right now. And this can manifest all different ways. I mean, for example, I have a sister right now who's actually pregnant, like 5 months pregnant. So indeed, she's in a very much a fertility time of life. But I also feel for those of you that are not, you know, of course, pregnant or expecting, that, you know, this just talks about how much your care, energy is needed. And to me, this gal right here is reminding me of the 9 of Pentacles too, which is like very productive, very efficient, and is very, very good at what she does. Very, very skilled. It's like what you touch turns to gold. It's like having the Midas touch, okay? But there's probably, you know, I see you being very busy and having a lot on your plate, pile number 2. So the unicorns are saying, you know, take a deep breath and connect right now, because that's like that's what really is like supercharging everything that you do, is your connection to spirit, to yourself, okay? So let's see what else you have here. You have the 6 of Pentacles. I have so much to give, I have so much to do, and so many things to people to consider. And it may be this time of balancing it out, right? Maybe it's like for those of you that have children, but you also have aging parents, right? It's like, okay, what do I do first? Or maybe you have, you know, maybe it's at work and you have people that work with you, they look up to you, but you also have to help a relative, you know? It's like parceling out your energy in a way, right? And there's a lot of people that, you know, that need the medicine that you have to give, I feel, okay? And the unicorns are saying like you're very, very talented. We want you to take care of yourself too, though. And we have the Page of Cups. So there may be some creative hobbies as well, or some things that you really love doing to help you relax that you haven't been able to do as much as you'd like because you've been very busy, you know, catering to the needs of others, or saving money and being practical, you know, and putting a lot of effort into what you need, you know, what you think needs to be done, right? And there's no question about it. There is a lot to be done. and you're very talented. You've got that raw talent, pile number 2. But, you know, with the Page of Cups, I feel like there is a need to relax. Like if you're dressed up, other people are looking up to you, other people are depending on you, and you're dressed up in some certain clothes or certain outfits here. This Page of Cups is like very relaxed. You know, he or she is not wearing any shoes. They have some funky tights on and a shirt that has paint all over it, you know? And I feel like sometimes there may be a question that you have, like, should I rest or should I pursue my creative hobbies, right? You know, like what's gonna bring me, like, you know, do I have time to do the things that I really love after I'm like part and parceling out all of my energy during the day? Do I have time for myself to do what I really love here? We have this 6 of Swords, and I do feel like the unicorns are saying you need to get away, you need to leave, and there may be a trip that you, and even if it's just a road trip, I definitely feel like nature is calling, and there's a need to get away from your everyday scenes that you're in every day, all right? There's a need to reconnect with, and we have 2 6s here. We have 2 6s in a page, and it's funny because you had all the 7s and now you have these 6s, right? And, you know, and this talks about sometimes going off on our own so that we have the space and time to do what it is that we really love. Even if other people are like, where are you going? Or what are you doing? Or I thought you were gonna be doing this instead. And you're like, no, I need some time to do this. And I need some time to do some of the things that I really love that are very intriguing to me. All right, it's nice to have, you know, to have a successful life and to have others need you and to feel like you're actually adding value to things, pile number 2. But I feel like the unicorns are saying, you know, you need a distraction as well here too. Like you need some fun and some distraction, some creative play, I feel. We have the 2 of Swords here. The 2 of Swords came up in pile number 1 as well. I feel like the unicorns are saying, you know, you're always on target, you never miss, and you just sense where things need to go or how things need to happen. And you seem to always hit your targets and hit your goals. And that's why we want you to ease up and not be as stressed out, because we're helping to guide you through that. And we're helping to make sure that you hit your targets and you hit your goals. So how about we escape for a little bit? How about we detach for a little bit? How about we roam free for a little bit, okay? And yeah, because you always seem to hit whatever target it is that you're aiming for, even without knowing where you're headed or where you're going. And I do think some of you, the unicorns are also saying that you need to do more things where the outcome is not like so determined, right? You need to do things where maybe you're just playing or you're experimenting or you're trying things out instead of this particular thing has to have this measured outcome, right? So unicorns are saying we want to see you do more things wild and free, like just because you can, okay? Pile number 2. So the unicorns are saying we want you to have more magic and joy in your life, and we want to see you do things that are just like for no reason, just because you feel like doing them, all right? And we have the Devil, yeah. So I do feel like for some of you guys, you may be worried about other people's influence that they have. Also, I also feel like the unicorns are saying, you know, money isn't everything. Money isn't everything. And if people are having too much influence on you, or they're impacting, like, you know, and I think the devil sometimes can make us despair because it tells us like there's no hope, the world's gonna end, everything's awful, the only thing like we should care about is like getting that money, you know, very materialistic sometimes with the devil. And also the devil can come across as somebody who's offering you a lot of money in order to do a job, right? And you know, one of the devil here has a bag full of money in one hand and an ice cream cone in the other, right? So it's like, let me tempt you with whatever I can tempt you with, right? Also that sense that everything's going wrong in the world, so you might as well just give up, right? Or that there's nothing really else except this. Or somebody in your environment who is trying to distract you with a shiny thing. Or maybe it's even your own self telling yourself, well, I can't really just go and do something for the fun of it because I need to be focused on money. I need to be focused on, you know, moving forward. I can't really take the time to just go off and do something for the hell of it and not care whether it's successful or not, because I've got bills to pay, you know, or I've got people depending on me, right? And so the unicorns want to help release you from that bondage all the time and worrying about that, I feel, pile number 2. We have the 2 of Pentacles here. So the unicorns are saying, like, you can really have it all, you know? You can be responsible, you can stand on your own, you can be independent, and you have the ability, you know, you have 2 2s here. So 2 2s, and we have 2 7s, 2 6s, and 2 2s in pile number 2. The unicorns are saying you have everything you need to be successful. There's no need to worry. Like, you have been showing. The unicorns want to remind you that you've been doing this for a long time and that you've got it, and you don't need to question yourself so much, all right? You don't need to question your motives so much, and not everything has to have like a purpose, right? Like, because you've been doing this for a long time. Whatever it is that you've been working on or doing, it's something that you know how to do and how to balance. So, you know, believe in yourself is what I think the unicorns are also saying to you here too, all right? You're going to be victorious, all right? What else here? We have 8 of Pentacles, dedicated effort. Yeah, and you know, the thing I'm drawn to in this card is how tired the couple looks in the background. And maybe you and your significant other have both been very tired. If you have a partner or a co-business owner or your children or whoever's in your life, you know, I feel, or just yourself, I feel like you've been giving it at your all and you've become quite good at what you do, and you're very focused and determined, pile number 2, but you're tired, you know, it feels a little worn out, right? I mean, it's nice to be needed. It's nice to be able to share with others, especially when they're in need. But I think you need some time to just sort of flutter off on your own. All right, pile number 2. And I think for those of you that have a partner, I think you guys both need that time to flutter off. And it's like, well, if we take a break or we stop, like all hell's gonna break loose or bad things will happen, right? And unicorns are here to help like ease that anxiety, I feel, and help you get some deep rest and some deep breaths in there. We have enemy, stop punishing yourself. Oh, pile number 2. Okay, maybe you work so hard like this because you feel like you need to, like you got to take care of other people, or you're trying to atone for something in your past, for something you did wrong, you know, or you feel you did wrong, right? But Spirit is saying, or not Spirit, the unicorns, because well, unicorn spirits, pile number 2, the unicorn spirits are saying, you know, stop treating yourself as an enemy, stop working yourself into a frenzy, and stop treating yourself as if, like, you know, maybe like something only has value, or what you do only has value if you're assisting or helping others, you know, and that just going off on your own and doing something that you love is not like abandoning other people. And it's also not going to be like the source of your undoing either, okay? And you've got this, I feel like, is what the unicorn spirits are saying. And you may have got this from the time that you were a child. You know, maybe you had parents that overworked a lot or were gone a lot, and you felt like you always had to be grateful for everything that you had, and you never wanted to be ungrateful because you appreciated even what others have done for you. But I think, you know, you're past that point now, pile number 2, and where you sometimes, I feel you may get past the point of, you know, being grateful or being humble to the point where you're pushing yourself too hard. Okay, so there's a need to kind of take a deep breath and to step back and to go do some stuff that maybe only you find fun, you know? Like some people love like axe throwing as a way to release stress, you know, like where you take an axe and you go and you throw the axe or whatever, like something to do to release stress, all right? And something like axe throwing, it's like, well, what's the point of that, right? Like as a hobby, you might think, well, when are we gonna ever need that skill in life, right? Everything, right? But Spirit's saying, don't worry, or the unicorn spirits are saying, don't worry about that, okay? Just you got it. You've managed to make it this far, this long. And it may feel sometimes like you're holding up the world, pile number 2, like on your shoulders. And the unicorns are here to tell you not to take that bait anymore and not to believe that anymore, and that other people are going to be fine. You can go do what you want to do. Okay. We have worry. Yeah. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome, right? So whether you're worried about your children or you're worried about your family or friends, or even if something's going to go off right, and I feel like this is coming with this 2 of Swords of you always hit the target. You always seem to make the decision that needs to be made or hit the target. And so don't worry. And I feel like, you know, there's Virgo energy here. There's Earth energy here for sure with all the Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, also Aquarius here. But I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, unicorn spirit is saying, don't worry so much. You've got this. All right. You've got this. They're helping you with your worry. We have the sound of the universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolizes the sound of the universe, having your world shaken up even a little. Yeah, shaken up even a little, not like planning everything to death, but shaking up even a little can invite a closer glimpse to the greater mystery of life. There's a myriad of ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane, right? If you've been doing a lot of mundane stuff lately, ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits, yeah, are just a few, right? Aim to imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls, right? Like make time for this so that you don't have those, you know, nasty wake-up calls, right? Listen for the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multi-dimensional world, okay? Music and harmony and wonder, right? And that's such a unicorn thing too, our creative pursuits, our childlike innocence, the things that we like to do when we were younger. And, you know, maybe a lot of people come from families where parents were like, maybe they were immigrants, or maybe they told their children, well, that's not practical, or you shouldn't do that, or that won't be respected, or, you know, or I will worry about you a lot if you pick that career or that particular thing, right? But I feel like for some of you, there's something that you really loved doing that could have been a little bit different, and somebody could have told you that's not ever going to work, right? And so now you try to do, now you may be super focused on the material, but on the mundane world, a lot happening with the mundane world. But unicorn spirits are saying, you know, dance and explore and be in your creative pursuits, okay? Maybe some of you have an affinity for music as well, or painting. There's something better. Oh my God, there is something better, pile number 2. There's something better than, you know, there's something better out there for you, all right? And don't be afraid to explore that or think that you can't do two things at once. You can, you know, if you're afraid of incorporating something else into your schedule or taking time out, the unicorns are saying, don't worry, stop punishing yourself. And there is something better for you out there, okay? Play more, all right? Take a deep breath and play more. Let go of some of that worry. And then we have Archangel Ariel. Let the spirit of love lift you. Oh, I love that. Let the spirit of love lift you. Pile number 2, okay? And that's what's going to help you move out of fear or move out of despair, all right, or worry, right? They always say, like, if a tree falls, like the sound of the universe, right? If a tree falls in a forest, did it happen? Or if no one heard it, did it happen, right? I mean, that's an interesting question, but I mean, I tend to think that, yeah, it did happen. It's the sound of the universe, right? Just because not everyone heard it at that exact moment. I mean, we all hear cosmically in a way, I think, pile number 2, right? So there's just something interesting about that whole question, but I tend to think the answer to that is yes, it's still, you know, it still happened. It's the sound of the universe, okay? Pulling you towards something better, all right? And the unicorns are here to do that for you, to help you stretch your understanding, stretch your imagination, and go beyond what you think is possible, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed your unicorn spirit message. And do leave me a comment if the reading resonated for you, or if you just have a comment that you'd like to share. And I really do appreciate every comment that you leave here. Thank you so much, everybody, and blessings on your path. All right, let's go ahead and move into pile number 3. All right. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Fluorite stone, and today's reading is a special message from the unicorn spirits. And I just noticed someone outside pile number 3, so there may be a little bit of barking from my dog because it seems like it's getting pretty active outside my window right now. So if you're listening to this on headphones, just so you know, right now she's sleeping and she's fine. But if you hear a bark, like, you know, just be with the energy, okay? But we're going to look at a special message from the unicorn spirits. And the unicorn spirits have to do with magic, innocence, purity, happiness, joy, potency, emotions and logic, moving between realms and stretching our imaginations, okay? So we're going to call on the unicorn spirits today. Spirits, angels, and guides, and unicorns, please connect me with my beautiful pile number 3 to give them a message from the unicorn spirits today. All right, let's do it, pile number 3. Okay. All right, somebody's giving me like metal, like Led Zeppelin or Back in Black, which is like AC/DC, like someone is giving me that. The unicorns are giving me heavy metal unicorns. Who would have thunk? Pile number 3. Who would have thunk? Let's see what else the unicorns would like to show. They're showing me Valentine's Day as well. I mean, obviously it's a day of love and joy. I know for a lot of people it doesn't feel that way sometimes, but maybe something special happening in February, or maybe you have a February birthday. Let's see what else they will give me. I feel like they keep wanting to show me flowers. And, you know, sometimes like when you're on walks and you're on your phone or you're looking at things, we may not notice like the whole world around us. Like there's so many beautiful flowers. I feel like the unicorns want you to connect more to nature. Pile number 3, okay? And I'm also getting the T names like Tim or Timothy, and also Alex or Alexander or Alexandria. They're giving me that name as well. TNA names, and I feel like the name Spencer, or maybe somebody lives in a city called Spencer, or there's the name Spencer. Also spruce trees, spruce trees. That's a type of tree, isn't it? I'm gonna have to look that up. Maybe the unicorns are by the spruce trees. All right, deep forest energy with the unicorns. So let's go ahead and get into your messages, pile number 3 from the unicorns. We have a powerful move, all right, with the chess piece here, a power move. So the unicorns are talking to you about making a power move in your life right now. And that could be, you know, like you actually moving or leaving, or just making some type of a statement wherever you're at, like saying, you know, because the unicorns also have to do with that. The unicorns have a horn on them too, and the horn is like one of the most special parts of the unicorn, and it has to do with our potency, you know. So the unicorns here are saying it's time to, no wonder you got the heavy metal unicorns, right? You guys have the heavy metal unicorns that's making that power move. Okay, let's see what else we've got. We've got hostilities, conflicts, and unrest. Okay, so the unicorns are saying hold your ground, hold your ground. And I also see like a panther, a big black cat here, saying that if you felt like people are hostile towards you lately, or people have been weird to you or have been acting weird towards you, it's not your imagination, pile number 3. And there are some people that may be a little bit afraid of your power, or they may be, if you're setting new boundaries in your life, or you're making changes, or you're rising up on your purpose, or you're moving up the ladder where you work, or whatever it happens to be here, it's not your imagination. You know, sometimes when we rise and we take up that space, kind of like the Emperor card in the tarot, you know, other people will be hostile towards that, or have, you know, or will ask us like, who do you think you are that you can do this, or whatever. And the unicorns are saying here, you know, like the unicorn horn, I feel like is coming out for you, pile number 3. Let's see what else we have here. Authenticity, card number 10. Okay, who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, word, and deed. Okay, thought, word, and deed. Very authentic. All right. And I see you're holding that core very strong. Okay, pile number 2 or 3, you're holding that core super strong here. And I like the color of her dress. It's kind of that tan color. I just got a shirt that color recently that made me think of that. But it looks like she's wearing kind of like a tan, like long dress here, maxi dress with some gold jewelry, which I love. But you know, you're very authentic, and the moves that you make are not taken lightly. You do think about other people and their feelings, but you're also 100% who you are, okay? And the unicorns are saying, you know what? That's fine. As long as you know, embody like authentically 100% who you are, you're good. You'll be protected, okay? We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to take this, and look at the hand here holding the wand, so powerful. And, you know, it's like, I've got this. I'm going to step up to the plate and take control here, and I'm going to take my rightful place on the throne. And yeah, so definitely with the Ace of Wands here, like, you know, that fighting spirit as well, pile number 3. We have the Two of Swords. It's so funny, the Two of Swords has come up in every single pile. The unicorns must be super into the Two of Swords, probably because it's such a peaceful, meditative, graceful card, also associated with the High Priestess. And of course, the High Priestess is associated with the moon, and the unicorns are also very associated with the moon. It's interesting because Scotland as a country, I think they used the lion and the unicorn to show like sovereign, like rulership in a way. I think it was Scotland that used the unicorn and lion as their main symbol, right? So the unicorn can also be a very powerful symbol and a powerful new beginning with the Ace of Wands here. But, you know, as long as you're, and I feel like this Two of Swords is protection. You may not even know what is being said, or what energy people are throwing at you, or you might even be impervious to some of that, pile number 3, in a way. You may know some of it, but I feel like some of it is being purposefully kept from you or blocked from you, because you know, you're just supposed to be moving forward right now. And anything that's going to kind of stand in that way for you is not it right now, okay? And there may be some energies that are purposely being kept from you or blocked from you in order to maintain, you know, the peace right now, all right? To maintain peace. I also feel a sense of dignity about this Two of Swords. Like, she's very dignified. She's like, I'm not going to let that get under my skin. I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm better than that, okay? So good for you, pile number 3. We have the Chariot. Oh my gosh, I was going to mention, actually I was thinking about mentioning the Chariot. I think I might have mentioned it in pile number 2, but the Chariot was definitely been on my mind. And what do you see here? It's a Pegasus, you know, but it's another magical horse figure, which is like so cool here. And see the determination on her face here, and see that she's truly blessed. And there's this rainbow ball in the corner, which to me is like the unicorn energy. You guys are also bringing in that Pegasus energy, which to me feels very Sagittarian. And, you know, talking about with the Chariot, like taking control of something and saying, I'm not going to let this bother me anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and make it happen because, you know, this is how I truly feel. And I think as soon as you realized, like, I can truly express myself how I feel, and that's fine. It's like you felt at home with yourself. And from that point on, pile number 3, you can push forward, okay? And I love that. The Pegasus also here for you, telling you it's time to make a power move. And for some of you, that may be literally, if it's like leaving your job and starting your own company, if it's leaving a relationship behind, if it's actually physically moving locations or moving your home, and people have a lot to say about some of the decisions that you're making. They may have a lot of comments, right? But the unicorn spirits are saying, as long as you're being 100% you, like you keep on with your bad self here. We have the Page of Wands. You're too excited. You're too excited. You can't sit still anymore. You know, regardless of what other people say or do, your eyes are wide open, okay? They're wide open, and, you know, you're not going to let things affect you, the Two of Swords, but this Page of Swords, she's super excited. Her eyes are wide open, and she's ready to, you know, roll up her sleeves and get it done. You know, it's the Page energy is that energy of the 10, right? Which in Kabbalah, pages are associated with the 10 or Malkut. And, you know, we have a 10 here, authenticity. And so this page is also talking about, you know, I'm not just going to sit on this anymore. I definitely need to make a move on whether it's an idea, an actual person, a location, whatever it is for you, pile number 3. It's time to take that action, okay? Time to make it happen, baby. I love that. And I love the color orange here too. I love that color. We have the 4 of Pentacles. So the unicorns are saying, you know, what have you gained by holding yourself back, right? Like maybe you didn't have to hear other people's opinions. If you were to just kind of hold yourself back and stay where you are, like what is to be gained from that, right? And the unicorns are saying, let go of, you know, they're saying let go of control in a way too, because the 4 of Pentacles to me is also like, I also feel like the unicorns are saying you're gonna be grounded, you're gonna be protected, you're gonna be safe, you're gonna have all the resources that you need to do this and to take this on, but don't spend too much time sitting on anything right now. Don't spend too much time, like especially if you've already been sitting on this for a while, and I'm talking years, thinking, oh, I really wanna do this, and you're like, maybe next year, maybe a couple months, maybe in another year, right? The unicorns are saying, no, it's time to receive your blessings now. It's time to move forward now. You're going to have the money that you need. You're going to have the stability that you need, but the time to make a move on something is now, okay? And we have the Hermit. And I think maybe what was keeping you guys held back in the past is the sense that you would have to go it alone, okay? and that others wouldn't support you, or that you would have to go it alone if you authentically pursued what you felt was your path, okay? And the unicorns with the Hermit energy are saying, you know, your path is very blessed. I see the number 8 here. I also feel like I see an owl, and I feel like I'm seeing a flag here too, and almost like a hole-in-one in the background here. And I'm seeing the words PO, okay? Or it could be initials or PO. That could be police officer, that could be pissed off, that could be a number of things here. But I feel like some of you were worried that if you pursued this path, you would be doing it on your own and there wouldn't be people there to support you. But, you know, like the only way I think that we can gain mastery sometimes is to just move forward, even though we have fears, even though we have doubts, even though we have questions. I'm seeing the word mint, M-I-N-T, or the initials M, H, or T here. I also feel, what else am I seeing here? But I feel like, you know, you're like, this is gonna be like a solitary path for me if I take this path, or I'm not sure exactly what challenges I'm gonna meet along the way yet. So that's what's kept me a little bit held back. But I also feel like the Hermit is an adventurer, okay? And is like, you know, but it's a planner. It's a planner. I do feel like you have good timing and planning on your side. Pile number 3 with the 4 of Pentacles here. And the Hermit is saying, you know, I feel like she's at the beginning of her journey, and instead of like way out on the mountain, and she's like, should I stay or should I go, right? And I think it's time to go. Pile number 3, with whatever you're considering, like time to go, okay? I think you've thought about it enough. I think it's time to move. And the unicorns are saying, you know, we're here, we're with you, we're on the path with you, we're encouraging you. I think they're even taking their little horn and like nudging you out, like saying, okay, it's time to do this, okay? And we'll send our Pegasus friends to help you and to give you a nice ride and a nice path as you are seizing power and control over your destiny right now. Pile number 3. That's a very exciting time. There's no other exciting time in your life than I think when you're really like authentically staking your claim, connecting to your power, and making powerful decisions based off of your passions and what you love, okay? And of course, with the 4 of Pentacles and the Hermit, there's planning, there's execution, there's details, all of that. But you've got it, all right? You've got it. Pile number 3. We have card 17 and heal. Look at those chains. Look at those chains. Chains are coming off and releasing big time. It's like a 1,000 million paper clips just falling away, you know? It's like magnetic, your heart opening up to like the magnetic attraction of what wants to come to you and not holding yourself back from it anymore, okay? Wonderful energy. Pile number 3. The unicorns with the star card are saying, you know, you're very special and we've been with you for a long time and we've been watching you, okay? I feel with the star coming up for you guys, that's very fortuitous. We have childlike wonder. Use your imagination. Oh my God, look at the little girl on here. If that isn't unicorn energy, then I don't know what is. And she's got her hand on the door like she's about ready to walk out that door, all right? I'm seeing Capricorn and Leo sign here as well. I'm also seeing the North Node. So for some of you, this is your life's purpose, all right? I feel like I'm also seeing Cancer, the crab here, but you know, Cancer is also like children, and childlike in a way. And Spirit is saying, you know, use your imagination, invoke that, the unicorn saying, use your imagination, invoke that childlike wonder, and for God's sakes, open that freaking door, all right? And then you see the star in the background there. Some of you guys may be star seeds, or you may resonate with that energy. But, you know, and I do feel that star seeds on this planet, regardless of whether you believe in them or not, or what you want to say, I mean, we all come from the stars. But I feel like star seeds in particular having that, you know, special relationship with the unicorns as well. Okay, very beautiful energy. We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Okay, and I don't really think it's like, I don't think it's denial. I think it's like, don't deny yourself anymore because of fear or because other people have something to say about it, okay? And with card 31 here, some of you guys may be in your Saturn return. You may have realized your life purpose when you were a teenager, around 15. You've been waiting to make a move. The last 10 years backward and forward are very important here with this authenticity, living in your power. And there's no more denying what you want anymore. And, you know, overcoming fear, all right? It's like when our excitement for living is finally having to overcome those fears. And the mighty dragonfly. I have seen so many dragonflies recently. Okay, so many where I live. And it's a wonderful creature. But let's see, what do we have here? Freedom. Oh my God. Freedom means living as you choose with your wings and heart open, able to direct your reality as you want. The quest for freedom seems innate. You may picture freedom in its more extreme guises, but when we truly feel free, our lifestyle may not change drastically. Limitation can be a state of mind. The only change might be choosing to live a certain way rather than feeling obligated, right? That sense of feeling obligated to something. A shift of perspective can help bring lightness and choice. The bigger picture, what does freedom look like to you? If you're feeling stifled, it is time to make a change, and it is up to you to make a change. All right, freedom. Feeling stifled. I have what I need, but I'm not happy. Okay, I mean, I have my material needs met, but I'm not super happy. And freedom, right? The fear, freedom over fear, for sure, right? And that fear when we're deciding I'm going to go walk down this unknown path, all right? But I'm not going to continue to deny myself what I want, because it's upon you right now, pile number 3. It's upon you, big time. You may be having an astrological transit to your nodes or some other, you know, you may be having a Pluto transit or just some big transit as well happening for you right now. Within the next few months, okay, for sure. Yeah, so, you know, if this is something you've been waiting on and you're like, should I, shouldn't I? Maybe in another couple months, maybe I'll try this then. I mean, it's here. The time is now, and it is upon you. And it's coming up faster than you think. And I wish someone would have told me that, pile number 3, when I was quitting my full-time job and going to do my spiritual work full-time for others. I wish someone would have given me a little heads up that this time is going to be a lot sooner than what I thought. But here I am in your reading. I mean, in some ways exciting, you know, like we don't always know the path, like things just unfold. And it's like, whoa, that was in a matter of months, my life has drastically shifted. Okay. So there's something, it's very Wheel of Fortune type energy, pile number 3, very Chariot, very Wheel of Fortune. Within the next couple of months, there's going to be some pieces of the puzzle that are going to even allow you to step further out into what you're doing, okay? And that is freedom. I love that for you, pile number 3. We have, we have Archangel Michael coming in your reading too, saying, courageously be still, which is so funny because, you know, like I feel like this is the after party, you know, once you make it through this change and you boldly go, pile number 3, Archangel Michael is saying, you know, after that, courageously be still. Okay. And be still so that you can really open up to this freedom, and you can really open up to this childlike sense of wonder, okay? And even if you're going through a big change or you have conflict going on around you, Archangel Michael is saying, be still in yourself, be still in knowing what you want and who you are, and knowing that you're authentically being yourself right now, okay? And yeah, there's a song from back in the day, and it's by the Dirty Projectors. The Dirty Projectors. Oh my God, I can't believe, I'm so happy I remembered the name of the group. It's by the Dirty Projectors. and it's called Stillness is the Move. Okay, so I feel like that's your homework, pile number 3. Watch Stillness is the Move by the Dirty Projectors, or listen to that song. And yeah, okay, stillness is the move. And Archangel Michael is saying, you know, as much as going on outside of you, in your outer world, be still on the inside, okay? Courageously be still on the inside. That'll keep you grounded, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 3. I hope you loved your reading. I know I loved your reading. I feel your reading was very blessed, pile number 3, and good for you. I hope to see you again in the future, and do leave me a comment if this reading resonated with you. And blessings to everyone. Blessings to the unicorn spirits. And take care, everybody.